It's been said by some guy that you can get away with average footage, but you can't get away with bad audio in video production. I don't actually necessarily agree with all of that, because I don't think average footage is good enough. I think you should strive to get the best footage you possibly can, but I do agree that bad audio can completely ruin a video. And audio is an often overlooked aspect of video production. I think when you're filming an interview or a piece to camera like this, the first thing you need to do is find the quietest space you can that still looks good. So a nice quiet room where you can control the environment, not just the lighting, but obviously the sound. You don't want to have a meeting going on next door where you can hear voices, or a construction site across the road, or people walking past and making sound, or even things like an air conditioner hum. All that sort of stuff can ruin the audio. So if you can find a nice quiet room, that's the best place to start. Equally important is the type of microphone that you use and where you place it. Now I'm recording this with 4 different microphones. Firstly, let's listen to the onboard microphone that's within the camera. So that mic is not designed to be used for top quality audio, and yet some people do rely on that as their main audio, but you shouldn't. The reason is it's usually at least a couple of meters away from the subject. It's not a directional mic, so it's going to pick up the sound coming from every direction. So even if it seems like it's quiet, you're going to hear the other people shuffling behind the camera. You're going to hear voices if they're walking past in the corridor. You're going to hear the aeroplane flying overhead. All that's going to be heard with the onboard mic. And so that's not going to be very good, really, and it's not going to sound great when you listen to the video. Secondly, I'm using a little hand recorder, and it might be making some noise as I'm picking it up and showing you that. Now these aren't bad. This is an old model. There's newer ones than this, but you'll probably find that this sounds okay, and that's what you're listening to now. And the reason it sounds okay is because it's pretty close to me. It's only about 30 centimeters away, and I'm also in a very quiet room, and so that's probably good enough. I'm guessing, without having heard it yet, that will be good enough to use in a video. But the problem with these is that you can't always get them very close, but also they're not as directional as other microphones might be. And so, again, any noise that's occurring in the area will be picked up by that mic. I'm also recording on this lapel mic, and this is what they're designed to do. They're great for using in interview situations or addresses to camera. I don't particularly like seeing them in the shot, but I will use it if I'm on my own. I don't have a sound guy, or I don't have a mic stand to set up another mic. I'll happily use these. I mean, it's pretty conventional. You see them all the time in interviews. It's no big deal if you see it. I just prefer not to. But you'll probably find that the audio is completely acceptable, perfectly good to use. So that's a pretty good quality lapel mic. And the fourth mic I'm using, which you might just be able to see in the bottom of the shot here, you wouldn't normally see it in the shot, but I've deliberately kept it in, is a shotgun mic. Now, these are my preference for interviews because they're very directional. You can get them pretty close to the subject. If you've got a sound guy who can get the boom into position, then that's great. Or you can put it on a stand if you're doing it by yourself. So this should be the best quality audio that you're hearing in this video. Although I would guess that you're not going to probably hear that much difference between this and the lapel, and possibly even the little hand recorder here either, given that it's a pretty quiet environment. But in other circumstances where you do have a bit of background noise, say an air conditioner hum in the room, which is a very common problem, then this is going to be your best bet. So the main point is, don't rely on the onboard microphone inside the camera. It's not going to do you any favors. Try to get yourself a directional mic of some sort. A shotgun mic is perfect, and get it as close to the audio source as you possibly can, and that's going to give you your best result.